Megan. This is an appointment kind of following up our meeting we had last week. The meeting we had before you were just discharged from the hospital after your overdose.
Yep.
So how are things going?
They're going. It's still hard. Especially being out there with everyone else that's homeless. As much as I don't want to be homeless or use drugs, it sometimes gets overwhelming and I don't know what to do. So then I go back to my old habits of using, which I'm really disappointed in myself for doing.
So you're telling me that you did use since last week?
I did.
And I know we had talked about you had, good intentions, so I'm kind of hearing that you want to reach goal, but you're not really sure how to get there?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm feeling. It's just the goal, I feel like I have a really good goal, but then when I get out there without someone helping me, it's like the goal just goes away and I don't have it anymore because I don't know how to get there.
Okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about something. I know last time when we met, you said a lot of times, and certainly I can appreciate the difficulties. You said, it's hard and changing is hard and the habits are hard. And I just noticed you use that word a lot, hard. And do you think that there's anything, because it sounds to me kind of like you're feeling overwhelmed and you're kind of just a spectator sort of in what's happening in your life. Do you think that maybe there's ways that you could kind of participate more and instead of letting life happen, kind of making a change?
I think this meeting is going to help make a change.
Yeah, and I thank you for coming.
Yeah, and maybe just trying to find that other social support in my life that will enable me to actually achieve my goals, maybe.
Yeah, and
life's always going to be hard no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even once I'm not homeless anymore, I'm still going to have other challenges that I do need to face.
And so you really do want to change your life around. It sounds to me like you're ready.
I am, yes.
And so what was the incentive for you? What was the big push? Was it your hospitalization?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And just seeing everyone out there who's homeless, they don't really get anywhere. They just pretty much stay there or die of overdoses or other causes.
So you're telling me that you would like to better your life?
Yes.
So what do you think, what are some goals that you like, just broad goals that you would like to achieve?
Not be homeless.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. And stop using, for sure.
Those are very good starting points.
Yeah.
So, and you would be very happy probably to show your family that you've kind of lost touch with, wow, look at me, I have a home, so that's a really good incentive, right?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, so who do you think, aside from the healthcare team, what else do you think, do you know of any organizations in your community that can help you? What do you think can help you get there?
Let's just start with me, I think. For sure. And then I'm really not sure where to go after that.
Okay.
I'm sure there's places I can call if I'm ever feeling like I need someone to talk to, for sure. But then again, it's finding a phone to call someone.
That's right. So I think it sounds like you've really given this a lot of thought, and that's wonderful. So maybe together we can come up with possibilities to attain your goal.
Yeah.
So goal number 1, not be homeless anymore, find some housing, and goal number 2, stop using.
Yes.
So how about we just throw some ideas out there. Let's start with ideas for not being homeless. And we can say some funky ones too. I'm going to put one for you. Win the lottery.
Had to buy a lottery ticket first.
That's true.
Go to a homeless shelter.
Yes, that's a great one.
Maybe find family that I could stay with for a while to help me get on my feet, or friends maybe.
That's great. So bridge gaps with your family. Maybe reach out.
Try and see if they'll let me. If they know maybe I'm trying to change, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. hard. There's not really much.
Maybe I can give you a hand. What about applying for subsidized housing? That exists. We could help you with that.
Yeah. They'd probably help me find a job too.
Yes, exactly.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. So we've got a few less realistic ones, such as the lottery ticket. So,
Crazy one.
yeah. So, reaching out to family, do you think that that's something that's doable?
I think so. I think if they know I'm going to change and I'm trying to change, maybe they'll have a different opinion on what I did in the past or maybe forgive me for what I did in the past.
Good. So that's a realistic one.
I think so.
But there are some obstacles kind of to anticipate.
Of course, there's always going to be an obstacle.
Yeah. So like with your family, what do you see as being a challenge to reaching out to them?
Well, if they don't want to accept me for the things I did in the past, or they don't accept that it's really, they don't probably understand the reasons why I started, or maybe why I'm doing it now, or why I can't stop. They're not going to understand that because they don't have an addiction.
Right.
It's hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes when you haven't had it before.
Yeah. I can understand, and it must be hard for you to perhaps reach out when you haven't spoken for so long.
Yeah, there's always going to be that awkwardness. And calling them when I need help, too, so you're vulnerable.
Right. So, not being homeless, sorry, I was going to say helpless, homeless, is the number one goal.
Yes.
And underneath that, the way to get to that is reaching out to family.
Yes.
So what if we broke up into little steps, ways to like slowly, reach out to your family? And so what are ways that you could reach out to your family that you think are realistic?
Call them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go see them. Maybe have you guys contact them.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about like getting together? Maybe I'm just throwing out ideas for a little meeting somewhere, maybe for a little meal. Like it could be a sandwich in the park, because I know funds are limited. Just a little something, and
yeah, that'd be nice.
that sounds great. So reach out to your family and maybe show them that you're committed to changing. So perhaps that leads us to our second goal, stopping the drugs.
So that first goal, like they're not. We have this goal set out, but then they could say they don't want to. That's always an option for them to not forgive me for the past.
Yeah, so that's good. So you're foreseeing obstacles in your goal,
Exactly.
and that's an important part, because you don't want to be devastated if your goals don't go through. So what's our plan B if they say, Megan, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable, I'm not ready to speak to you right now?
Well, I could try another family member perhaps, or the homeless shelter, see if they have a bed available, or go the route where you were talking about where they subsidize and find a job. But then I need to stop using drugs as well, which is a goal I want to do too, so that seems like it'd be overwhelming. That's a lot.
So you're telling me, you feel like there's so many things you have to do to get back on track, and you're feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Okay, so maybe the first step would be housing, but it sounds to me like housing will go hand in hand with your drug habit, right? So what do you think is realistic for you to stop using? What are ways? Have you thought about the best path? What have you tried?
Just stopping.
Just kind of cold turkey?
Yeah, that's kind of hard. I know there's programs you can go in with methadone and stuff like that. Maybe that would help, because then it doesn't give you all those side effects of stopping, which is terrible. Slowly stopping, I don't know if that's really a good option, but that's about it. That's an option.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't tried the methadone, but I mean, they've been told.
Yeah. So you've thought of different ideas, and so you're saying that maybe the methadone, or slowly reducing, tapering it off, are more realistic for you?
Probably. But I don't know if tapering would really help. Maybe I'd do a little less one day, and then the next day I feel stressed out, so I'm going to do more.
Yeah. So you're anticipating, yeah.
Yeah, so.
So perhaps maybe we can get you in touch with, maybe I can speak to your doctor again and see if you're a candidate for methadone. And
I think that'd be the best option, because then I wouldn't have all the side effects, which are hard for me to have while trying to get my feet back on the ground and getting a job and getting a housing and seeing my family, and that's
yeah,
just a lot to deal with all at once.
yeah, you're feeling overwhelmed and you have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say it's really admirable that you have so many nice goals, and I think the big difference is the incentives. Like, you know, you had a near-death experience. You're still so young. You want to make a change. How does it feel to, you know you can get there?
Feels good if I know it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, and it's good to be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So I'll talk to your doctor, and maybe I can hook you up with a counseling consult. You know, someone who can follow you all the time,
Yeah,
kind of like your own personal cheerleader.
that'd be awesome.
Great. Thank you, Megan.